Oh, there we go. Hi everybody. I seem to be live now. This is my first live that I'm doing, so please excuse any little bundles and mistakes, but this is how we learn. So if you don't know, I'm Michelle Sipker. I'm a channeler and an artist. I do readings for people and empower them, and I'm all about empowering people. That's my main goal. And the goal I've been called to, it's part of my life path, is to help enable the human consciousness to transcend wherever they might find themselves, to grow, transcend, and find their own power. And I felt called to do this live channel today because I'm not really one for predictions, so to speak. I don't really believe in the whole predictions thing, because we can change our reality whenever we choose to. There's no set thing. There are certain things that we all agree to before we enter this life, in this current expression of our being, to basically say, this is what I want to learn in this lifetime, this is my goal, and then when we are here, we try and figure that out and try and align with our life path as much as possible. I'm just going to see if anybody else is going to join us. I'm not going to wait too long for that. If any of you have any questions, specific questions that you would like the higher dimensional beings to answer today about 2022, please go ahead and type them in the comments, and I will try and get to them where possible. But for the most part, I'm just going to allow whoever comes through to come through today. The space has been made sacred. I've got archangels holding the space, as I usually do, and they will take care of the energetics and make sure we're all safe and that nothing unwanted comes into this space. So this is a sacred, safe space, and I only allow higher dimensional beings to come in here, beings of love and light. Okay, so if any of you have any questions, let me know today, and I will try my best to answer that. All right, so those of you who know me well can see I've got a bit of color on my skin. Somebody gave me a word at the beginning of the holidays. It was like drawing a little a word out of a hat, basically, and it was sunshine. So yes, I definitely got some sunshine. I feel a bit more recharged. I feel ready to do my work and to help people. And yeah, we'll see where it goes. And I'm very excited about this. So just to comment on the post that I have placed on Facebook and all the other social media regarding today's title, basically, which is "You Can Get It Back, You Can Multiply It This Year in 2022." And that is the first message that I received yesterday, and also the prompt to do this live. And that is basically just to let you know that whatever it is that you've gone through in the last year or 2 years, because it's been quite a transformation that the human consciousness has had to go through in the last 2 years. But it truly has started much longer ago than that. And that is just, I'm going to just switch off the sound if you do not hear me, so that all these little notifications can stop coming through. There we go. Can everybody still hear me? Please let me know. Okay. So basically the message is that whatever hardships you've gone through, whatever it is, whether it's been financial stress, I've had quite a lot of that myself, whether it's been losing loved ones. So many of us have gone through that, and I really understand and feel your pain, and I understand what that is and how it feels and what it does to us. Whether it is health, your own health, whether it is emotional things that you had to deal with, whatever it is, whatever your pain and suffering is that have caused you to feel like, you know, almost like creating like a, almost want to say creating a, not a block, but a huge shift. Let's just call it a huge shift in what your life was before. And I say that for you because I also felt it for me, and it's worldwide. Most people have felt or experienced something really major in the last 2 years, and part of that was needed for the shift to happen. That was needed to wake people up. There's still many that have to go through awakening, but those of us that are here that have awoken, we understand that sometimes the painful experiences can help guide us towards our true path and bringing us, basically just aligning us back to where we need to be. And the getting it back part is really just about getting back whatever you've lost in the last 2 years in terms of finances, emotional instability, anything like that. You can get back the positive side of yourself. And many of us have started doing this already. But I just feel really, really fired up about this year. The message is just so loud and clear. I feel fired up because it's like all that has come up until now has been like groundwork. And now we're going to go into, okay, the changes are going to happen now. We have started, we've laid the foundations, and lots of shifts have been happening to help get us to this point where we can start really truly flowing. And some of us have already started finding our flow, but for many of us it's just still, it can be quite a struggle to find that flow. And that flow is just going to be so much more possible this year. It's just going to be so much more, it's going to feel easier. It's not harder or easier than it was. It's just that the human consciousness as a whole is much more ready for it and can adapt and be more flexible with what's happening. So that is the main message. And whatever it is, whatever good, positive, wonderful things you attract to you and start learning to attract to yourself and getting into that flow, you can multiply it. Just by really by becoming conscious and aware of everything that's going on within yourself and your environment. Yeah, and the other big part of it, all the messages that I have been receiving lately has been of working through love. This heart chakra of ours is like the key to everything. It really is. We need all our energy centers. It's like a whole engine that drives us, but the heart is the key. It's really the driving force. And if you can connect to your heart and start with you, that's when the magic happens, and that's when everything just that's when you can learn to live in flow, when you're listening to your heart. Okay. All right, I don't think anybody else is going to join us today, and thank you for everybody who's signing up and sharing comments. I really appreciate it. It's nice to connect with you, Melo. Welcome everybody else. Okay, so I'm just going to get ready. before I start, I just want to explain to those who have not experienced my direct channeling, just a little bit about how it works. I will be using a mixture of direct channeling and interpretive channeling today. The beings of love and light, the higher dimensional beings, often use my clairvoyant abilities as well. So sometimes I receive images as well, and then I interpret them. But for the most part, I'm a conscious channeler, which means I'm aware of what is being channeled through me. I'm here, I'm present, but I'm just sort of sitting in the back seat and allowing the beings to talk through me. However, for me, the experience is a lot more intense, and I receive actually a lot more information than what maybe comes through. So I'm having my own little experience, even though I'm aware of what's happening. And then when they need me to interpret, I just sort of step forward a bit and do that. And it's also quite important to understand that I am in control all the time. So I can stop it. I can do anything like that. I'm very conscious, and I think that's part of my gift. It's part of what part of the gifts that my guides, everyone has given me, is to be able to do that, because sometimes it can just be a bit strange. Hi, Andiswa, it's nice to see you. Hi, Elsa. Okay. All right, so I'm not sure who's going to come through today. There will be times of silence when I'm asking questions to the beings. So like I said, if there's any questions that you have about 2022, I will have my eyes closed most of the time. It helps me to focus on the channeling. But I am able to open every now and then, just see if there's any questions. And as I'm channeling and going through it, if questions come up, please feel free to put them down. Okay. Hi. All right. Okay. Beings of love and light, I ask that whoever needs to come through, for those present today and those who will watch this in future, will come through, and that their message, the most important messages, what people need to know the most, will come through today. They're showing me that there is going to be healing taking place today. So some of you have got health problems or emotional health problems, or both. And while I am channeling and giving messages, there's going to be some healing happening today as well. So please be prepared for that. You might go through a bit of a detox, but just drink lots of water and get lots of rest. If that affects you in any way. All right. Hello, beautiful beings. I am Morowell. It is nice to be joining you in this format today. Thank you for joining. As Michelle has said, it is important to work through your heart space this year. It is always important. It has not been important before, but it is time to connect with your heart, with your true self, It is time to allow yourself to see all of you. Many people are hiding from their true selves, or partially hiding, and this does not serve humanity. What serves humanity is for each person to truly, truly get in touch with themselves. And as you connect with yourself and learn more about yourself, the good things and the bad things, you will start a transformation within your soul, within your energy body. This catalyst of working through the heart always. So whatever it is that you are experiencing, whether you're connecting with yourself, whether you're talking to a loved one, whether you're talking to a stranger, whether you're doing your work, wherever you may be finding yourself, whatever you may be busy with, always act through the heart. Think of it as rose-tinted lenses, but not in the negative aspect, the negative connotation of that phrase, but rather putting on the filter of unconditional love. And first of all, for yourself. When you start seeing the world through these unconditional love spectacles, you will be able to have more grace and more understanding and accelerated growth. You will have grace for other people, but you will also have grace for yourself. Whatever you choose to do, always work through this space. Always, always, always. And in getting to know yourself, it is very important not just to focus on one aspect of your life. Do not just focus on mental health or emotional health. Do not only focus on knowledge and wisdom. Do not only focus on spirituality, even though that is usually the first step that is needed. It is not all of the human experience. It is one part. And also, you have to look after your physical bodies. You have come into this world, into this space, with your body. Some people have abused their bodies to the extent where they have allowed dis-ease to come into their bodies. And we see this so often in so many ways with the people on earth. I, Morowell, am a collective. I am a consciousness. We reside in the 8th dimension, and we have witnessed people abusing themselves, other animals, and the earth. Some have even gone so far as to pollute space around the earth. And the message here today is not to cause guilt or suffering, but for humanity to become aware of this pollution. And first and foremost, it's the pollution of self. When you pollute yourself, you put on a filter of pollution, and you project that pollution out into the world, your surroundings. So become aware of yourself, connect with yourself, become aware of what kind of energy you are allowing into your space, including the food that you put into your body, including how you treat your body. So, as you can see, the 4 key elements, the 4 things that you need to work on within yourself is emotional body, energetic or spiritual body, physical body, and mental body. It is very important to find the flow and the balance between these different parts of yourself. And as you do this and become more aware of your true self, this will overflow. The way you treat yourself will overflow into your environment and touch those around you. We cannot help but affect those around us, and we are not only speaking of other humans, but all other beings, also in other dimensions and in the greater universe. What is currently happening on Earth with all the shifts is a very, very integral and important event happening that the whole universe is watching. Many of us, not only our consciousness, but many other consciousnesses, have decided to step in and help humanity. There was a time when we were not in contact as much, as we were being blocked out by many, by the human consciousness, in fact. But now, as people are opening up more and more, and the human consciousness as a whole is opening up more, we are able to connect more and more with many, many more people. And we want to encourage you to open your hearts to those who want to help you, whether it be us, beings of love and light, many various consciousnesses out there, whether it be your God, whether it be the universe, if you'd like to put it that way, source. Connect, open up, and work on yourself. This is the key message. When you start connecting with yourself in this way and truly get in touch with what you need, truly get in touch with your intuition, even to the point where your intuition, you use your intuition for all kinds of daily activities, you will find your flow. Your environment will change for the better. There will still be pain, there will still be suffering. You will still receive or experience hardships. However, you will be able to deal with it much better. For many of us, for many humans in the human consciousness, pain and hardships can be crippling. But when you come back to yourself and you learn to deal with all the things that come across your way, which you might see as terrible, terrible things, but which we, from where we are viewing you, can see that it's just the lessons that you need to get to that next step, so that you can see the light at the end of the tunnel. And remember that analogy of the tunnel not necessarily being straight, but possibly curving. Thank you for teaching Michelle that, Alison. So it is very important to understand that how you treat yourself is how you're going to experience life. And this is truly the key to raising human consciousness, is working through love, and working through love for yourself. we would like, if anybody has any questions, please ask now. Okay, everybody's still there? No questions? Okay. "2022 is a year of transformation. And the last year or two, even though so much transformation has happened, it was more a foundation, as we have said. The transformation that will take place this year will be much more tangible and visible. Not only for those who know where to look, but also to those that are blocking this out of their lives. Even those that are not aware will start noticing the change and transformation, not just as a physical reality on planet Earth, but also as a greater reality, as a spiritual reality, energetic reality. In order to manifest the reality that you wish to have, in addition to connecting with yourself and your heart space, it is important to get to know your energy body. You can use your chakras, the various chakras, the little engines, which is part of your bigger engine, to manifest different things. And as long as you start always and it ends always with your heart space, there are many various ways to use your little energy engines. So each chakra has its own uses and organs that it's connected to. And that is because that is like a specialization. For example, the third eye specializes in dreams, visions, visual manifestation, imagination, which, please understand, imagination can be reality. Each chakra has got a specific thing, and when you use certain chakras in unison together, you will be able to become very specific. You can really focus and gear your manifestation. So thoughts are important, of course. Emotions are very important, and this is why the heart is so important in helping to manifest. But additionally, getting to know your energy body and the different chakras and what they mean and how they operate, and how the different chakras can work together, you can unlock a lot more and bring a lot more into your reality. The only things that is in the way of manifesting what you truly want is you. Honestly, each person on this planet is very powerful. Very powerful. Each and every one of you possess the power and the skill. Well, some skills need to be learned, but you have the ability to learn the skills. You have everything that you need, and you possess all of those things to help make your reality become tangible. I will give you an example. So, the third eye, visualization. and the solar plexus, which is your inner strength, your core, your personal strength, your personal power. When you use your solar plexus in conjunction with your third eye, you can will what you see to happen. That is one aspect, that is one way to use your chakras in this way. You can, for example, also use your solar plexus in conjunction with your throat chakra. Your throat chakra being your center of communication and the place where you speak your truth. When you are connected to your personal power and you feel, it will feel to many of you like a tingling or like butterflies. And also when you are in this space, you connect with your higher self, your soul, the true you. So when you are knowing your power and knowing your strength, and then you connect it with speaking your truth and speaking your authenticity, you can manifest that for yourself, that part of yourself. Being seen, being whole, feeling fulfilled. So there are many different ways, and we want to urge you to play with this, play around with this, and there is nothing wrong with using your mind and integrating it with energy or spirituality. Integration is important. Integration is very, very important. Just as you're integrating 4 different parts of yourself, energy, mind, body, and emotion, in the same way you can integrate your energy body. There is so much that you have the ability to do. Does anybody have any questions around this? Okay. All right, I'm going to start with Melo. Melo's asked, I've heard many refer to the 144K. How does that work? Michelle has no knowledge of the 144K, so we will try and explain as best as we can with the knowledge that she possesses. $144K, 144,000. That is like a biblical number of the returned, it is a number that has been used in many scriptures and many religions. This number is more symbolic than a physical number. There is a physical aspect to it, but it is not how it seems. The 144,000 is just the next step in evolution. It is almost like the first step to the next part of the evolution. It is not the whole thing. As is often the case, many people think of the awakening and transcendence as we're going to transcend and then that's going to be it. But the human consciousness, just as we as a people, we as a collective have experienced, there is ascension and then another ascension and then another ascension. This is just one ascension. And just like that, the 144,000 is a kind of like a catalyst, a first step, a foundation for the rest of the human consciousness to join and ascend. It's never too late for anybody. Okay. The most important thing we would like you to understand with the limited knowledge that Michelle has is that the 144,000 is not exclusive. It is the start. I hope that answers your question. This is the best we could answer it with her limited knowledge. Okay. Anthony, are there any practical advice we can incorporate into our daily lives? There are many, many different ways which people can, many different methods people can use to incorporate into their lives. However, perhaps the most important one is that of a routine. It is important to get some kind of a routine, but however, be very aware that this routine should be flexible, because as you start living in flow, sometimes you have to go out of your routine and do something different that was called to your intuition, and then return to your routine. But having a basic routine in your daily life will help to assist you to grow more, grow faster, and to accelerate your learning and growing. However, even though we speak about the acceleration of growing, please understand that slow and steady is always better than rushing into things. The important parts of people's routine that we would like to suggest for the majority of the human consciousness is to have some form of physical self-care, like a form of exercise and a form of healthy lifestyle. Also, have a part in your routine that is for your mental and emotional well-being. Spend time, make time for yourself. Each human person should honestly make time for themselves, however they can. For some it's much more challenging than for others, but there is always a way to make time for yourself. Even if it is 10 minutes, and this is the absolute minimum, but remember that time is an illusion, and it's not truly the quantity of time that you spend with yourself, but the quality of that time. If you can go and you can combine your emotional well-being activities with, for example, your physical well-being activities, there is no reason why different things in your routines cannot overlap. As the saying goes, this is an Afrikaans expression that Michelle knows, twee vliee met een klap. So, which just basically means there's more than one way, and sometimes you can do many things with one activity. So being limited by space and time in this reality, that is something that you can do, is to integrate different parts together. And it is also very important to spend time learning, gaining knowledge, but do not let that be the whole of your daily routine. In the past, this has taken up a lot of people's time, and we are not saying eliminate it. It is important. We need to integrate knowledge and wisdom into everything else. But do not focus solely on this. Also make time for your spiritual lives. Whether you do it through meditation or prayer or whatever it is, there are so many different ways in which you can be a spiritual person. Make time for that. And we would like to advise that everybody starts their day in this way. As we've also said, you can combine, for example, physical and spiritual as well. Many people do a meditative walk or something like that. So however it works for you, but we would like to urge you to start with spiritual, whether it be prayer, meditation, or any form of this, but connecting to Source, connecting to who you see as God or greater consciousness, however you would like to think of it. But this is what's important. Finding some sort of routine that works for you as an individual with your special gifts. But start the day right. If you start the day right and learn to manage your energy, grounding, connecting to Mother Earth, clearing everything, unwanted energy, start your day like that, and protecting yourself. This only really means not letting other energies come into your space. Just keeping the energy that is around you, your own energy. So doing that, and then really setting a goal for the day, an intention, and keeping that in your mind, and starting your spiritual practice and your day in this way will help every day to go well. Every day. I hope that this practical advice has helped. Please let me know if anybody has any more questions about this. Thank you, Anthony, for that question. Melo's got lots of questions. Just trying to look here. Melo, what does the transition to 5D look like? Okay. The transition into the 5th dimension is much more gradual than people think. For those that do not know, we feel it is important to explain that currently we are living in the 3rd dimension. Some people are already in 4th dimension, and some people are already connecting to the 5th dimension. Some people have already transitioned and started living more in the 5th dimensional reality. So some of you are already finding yourself there most of the time. But the 3rd dimensional reality is what most people are familiar with. The physical world, work, life, play, all of these things make up the 3-dimensional reality. What people perceive as the only reality sometimes. So from this reality, the 4th dimension is a bridge. And many of the human consciousness are finding themselves, as they are awakening, living more in the 4th dimensional. And the wonderful thing about this bridge is that you can step into the 3rd dimension when you need to, as the human consciousness currently still has to, because 3-dimensional reality is very much part of your reality. But you can also step into the 5th dimension anytime you like. And it's this gradual process, almost like a seesaw. It's like that flow that we were explaining. You will find yourself perhaps living more and more in the 5th dimension. You will find yourself accessing that more and more. And at some point, when everybody, the whole human consciousness, has reached the point of being in the 4th dimension, because not everybody is there yet, then the possibility to live much more in the fifth dimension, and eventually to only be there, and then sometimes going into the fourth and then the sixth, will be the reality. It will be gradual. It is not something that will happen in the next 50 years. Highly unlikely. However, anything can change. Over the next 100 to 200 years is how long this transition will take. Yes, and it all comes back to the first message which we shared today, which is to connect with yourself and your soul and who you are. That is the only way to go into the bridge and live more in that fifth dimensional realm, where we are not as constrained by physical reality. In fact, we start becoming less dense and a bit more ethereal. I hope that answers your question. Okay, Sharon. Oh, beautiful to hear that others are not enlightened. We'll start noticing and tuning in. The time is now to come together as a collective. Absolutely. Absolutely. I think this is an important point that Sharon is speaking about, because that is what we need to realize, is that we are a collective. And when we come into this three-dimensional reality, we all feel separate. That's part of the reality of third dimension. So we feel like separate beings. We feel alone. But the truth is that we're not alone. And all we need to do is reach out. We all connect to each other. We are one consciousness as humans. And over that, there's more. There's the greater consciousness. All the beings in the cosmos, all the beings in the universe make up one consciousness as well. And that's God consciousness. You can think of it that way. All life forms all over the universe makes up God consciousness. Okay, but us as a human collective, a human consciousness, need to start working towards unity. And we can only do that by first loving ourselves, and then we put on those unconditional love spectacles and spread that and connect to each other through love. Melo, that answers me. Thank you very much. Okay, great. I'm glad that answered you. Michelle here. I was like, I don't know what this 144,000 thing is. Hi, Stevie. Nice to see you here. Lauren, such beautiful answers. Thank you. If I may add one more daily ritual, the practice of gratitude. Oh, yes. Thank you for that. Thank you, Lauren. Gratitude is truly central to living in a heart space, because it doesn't matter what you have in terms of health or physical or finances or whatever it is. Coming to a place of where you're accepting yourself and you're feeling fulfilled is also a place of gratitude, because you will feel fulfilled even if you have almost nothing. You will feel fulfilled even if your health isn't the best. And in this fulfillment and love space and gratitude space, you will get better. Things will improve. So it's just important. Gratitude truly is actually the key around. It's so connected with love and unconditional love. So thank you very much for bringing that to our attention. Hi, Maxine. Okay, thank you, Melo. You're welcome, Robin. Melo, thank you. Can we expect to connect with our star family and get disclosure soon? Oh, what a great question. What a great question. Oh. All right. So, okay, I'm just going to let Morowell come back in again. I'm getting excited about the question. Thank you for that question. Yes, many humans on Earth and in the human consciousness have already started making contact with their star family. You can go and explore this and research this. There are many that are actually on social media and in other ways sharing their experiences with meeting, for example, the hybrid children, or with having more and more encounters with their star family. At this stage, a lot of it is happening within ourselves. So during journeying and meditation, we can experience this and start connecting with our star families. So it's not something that will still happen. It's just something that gradually will become more and more exposed and open, as most people will start accepting not only that we are not alone, but that we are so integrated and part of the universe that we have actually come from out there as humans. So it will become much more the norm for people to accept this in future. However, every single person is at this stage able to connect with their star family if they accept this fact that we have come from outside and that we did not start here. We are part of the universe, and many other beings like our collective in the 8th dimension have experienced this and have got different DNA from all over the universe. Some of us have got human DNA, and this is why many channelers can channel specific beings. So in Michelle's case, she's channeling me, Morowell, our collective, and me, who is speaking right now as a representative of this collective, is connected to Michelle. I am one aspect of a life she has lived. So we as humans are a lot more connected to the cosmos than we realize, each person. So I hope this helps, and that you will seek answers and seek out your star brothers and sisters, and please know they are watching. They are watching. Neptune's moon, many beings have started colonizing the moon so that they can be closer to Earth. There are many ships in the atmosphere. However, for those experiencing life more in a three-dimensional reality, they will not be able to see this unless they accept. And when you are willing to see and want to see, you will see. This is a very important thing to understand, as the beings in your the space around Earth will make themselves more and more visible to those who are interested in contact. And also using channelers like Michelle will help you make contact with beings, specific beings. And of course, all of the abductions that have happened, there have been some experiences that people have felt have been negative experiences, or in the human media it has been made as very negative. But a lot of those contact happenings, things that happened, are experiences of healing and of DNA swapping, manipulating our DNA, but for better, for helping us grow and become better, not always for sick experiments as many people have seen it. There are those as well, but certainly most experiences that people have experienced, most contact experiences people have had are actually positive. So this is also possible, and some of you may even have experiences. You might have thought of it, or it might have felt like a dream. Some might have experienced it a lot more physically. But people will start coming out and talking more and more about their experiences, whether it happens in a journey format or whether it happens as a much more physically physical experience. Yes, but it's already happening. It's already happening, and the time when it will become more common knowledge and more accepted, probably around the same time as people shifting more and more into fifth dimension. So roughly 100 years for most people to start accepting this as truth. And definitely as people accept, there will be more and more experiences, contact experiences, and more people will talk about it. Thank you. Elsa, I think you know what I want to hear. Okay. Yes, I do. Okay. Will you see your loved ones again? Yes, you will. Are they with you? Are they watching? Yes, they are. So this connection we have with our ancestors, many of you have experienced this, and for some it's much more culturally acceptable to include ancestors as part of their religious and spiritual lives. But our ancestors are relevant. And the families we are born into in our current expressions that we are living are important. They have accepted us into their tribe, and even though it might not always feel like we belong to the tribe, that happens many times when it's a new group that is accepting you into their tribe. It feels alien. The main goal of having an ancestry that you are experiencing in your current expression is to help you become aware that you are not alone, that we are connected. We are all connected. And this blood connection that we have strengthens that bond into many different facets of our lives. So Elsa, your loved ones are watching. They are also my loved ones. I am in contact with them. They're with us. They're here. Oma wants you to know that she loves you and don't give up. Okay, this is a very personal message, but I hope that you all find encouragement from it, because whenever you feel alone, know that you are not alone. You are not separated. You have that family there to give you support. We are never ever alone. They form part of our guides, our spirit guides, ancestors. So sometimes there's usually one specific ancestor assigned to every single one of us. For me, myself, it's a great-great-grandfather on my father's side of my family. He's a Sipker as well. So he has been with me my whole life, even though I wasn't aware. So everybody has at least one ancestor that is with them from the time that they are born to the time of their death, guiding them. So in that way alone, the ancestors are very much connected to us. And as they pass over, sometimes they're still wanting to connect with us and work with us and help us, and sometimes just a message of love and support. Sometimes that's all they want to give, but those messages are important, and to allow yourself to to hear and believe that they are there and that they care and that they're watching and that they love you. Very important, very important. Yes, it's making me emotional as well. So we're not alone. When you have lost a loved one, it is not forever. It is not the end. They continue to live on in another place. They are not gone. So you can always connect with them. Even if it's just the feeling that they are here with you. Okay, they are never truly lost. We might miss them in this reality, but as you start getting that routine underway and start connecting more with yourself and start becoming more spiritual, you will be able to hear their messages more clearly and connect with them easier. So it's possible for every single person to connect with their ancestors. Also in terms of health for Elsa and many of you actually, it just comes back to what Morowell has spoken about. So this is Michelle speaking, sorry. What Morowell has spoken about just now, and which is to take care of all the different parts of yourself and to really learn to love yourself and accept yourself, your shadow self and your light self, to accept all of you as a totality, and understanding that good and bad and dark and light and black and white is very much an earthly realm thing. It's a three-dimensional reality thing. Once you start moving out of that three-dimensional reality and ascending and crossing over into fourth dimension, fifth dimension, you start realizing that there's this unity, that unity with human consciousness, but the unity within yourself, that you need both sides, you need balance. So we all need balance. So looking after all these different parts of yourself, your physical health, your mental health, your learning, as well as spiritual, it is all important, and loving yourself. It all has a part to play. Thank you very much. Hello, fantastic, thank you. Simply, we're brilliant answers, thank you for this. Okay, thank you very much, everybody. Unless anyone else has another question, I think we're going to leave it for there. Thank you for joining me today. I really, really appreciate you being here with me today and making time for this. I feel very blessed and honored to have had everybody here with me today. I can truly feel you all here with me and feel very blessed by it. And I want to thank Morowell and all the other guides, your guides, my guides, and all the beings of love and light, the archangels holding the space. I just want to thank everybody. Thank you very much for holding space, for teaching us, and for giving us the answers which we needed. Thank you very much. Thank you to all of you. I hope to see you soon. And yeah, namaste. Have a great 2022. I'm here whenever you want to reach out to me. Thank you.